This video is brought to you by NordVPN.
Hello everyone, what? Hi, my name is Ben from Wobi Design and welcome back to this van conversion series. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the general plan for this whole van conversion series, and I'm going to be talking about some of the must-have features, how I'm going to design the whole entire layout, as well as how to prep for this whole entire van conversion. Got it? Okay, so first off, let's talk about the definition of a home. And I'm sure most of you have some kind of nostalgic feeling tied to your home, and there's a feeling to it.
There is no place like home.
Now, in practical sense, personally, I think home is a tool to make our lives a little bit better. And instead of just sleeping outside, you have a roof over your head, you have a refrigerator so your milk doesn't go bad, air conditioning will be a nice plus, and you have, TV so you can make time go by faster, things like that. It just makes your life a little bit easier. Now, during the last couple years, we've been stuck at our homes and we got to familiarize ourselves with the space that we have, and I think we all kind of understand what are some of the basic needs that we all must have as a human being. We all have to sleep, we all have to eat, and we all have to use the bathroom and take a shower, and you have to work as well, so you have office space. And now, personally, I live in a one-bedroom apartment that is about 800 square feet, so it's fairly small, and this whole apartment is divided into 4 different sections. There's the bedroom, there's the bathroom, and there's the living room here, and there's the kitchen. Just 4 different spaces, and there's a little bit of storage here and there, but overall, it comes down to 4 different spaces. Now, after realizing how much of the space I actually use daily, I decided to kind of break down what's more important for me and my wife versus what's really not that much important. So I'm going to kind of adjust according to my needs how much space is gonna take inside the van. Does that make sense? First of all, one of the biggest priority for me and my wife is having a nice bed. We like to sleep a lot and I take naps, and right now we have a king-size bed, and I love how much space I have with that bed.
I'm taking that beer. Good night.
So I want to make sure I have a comfortable bed so I'm not compromising anything and I'm not feeling any discomfort. Secondly, we like to use the bathroom a lot. I think in general, my wife and I, we probably go number 1 at least 10 times a day. And I like to take I'm not even gonna hide it. I like taking shits. So I take about 2 or 3 shits a day, which is very healthy. And I'm gonna make sure I could do that inside the van as well. And another thing, we probably take a shower at least once a day, no matter what. So there has to be some kind of shower system where I could take a shower every day without doing too much setup, but at the same time, it's not taking up too much space because it's only once a day. And I'm pretty sure if I'm on the road, I'm probably going to take about half the shower that I'm taking now. So yeah. Now, one of the biggest space that I don't really see much inside of a van is a living space. This could be a couch space, maybe a place where you could put a desk. And I think this is what's most important in our case, especially because my wife's going to be working most of the time. Now, that means I want to make sure she has a comfortable desk setup so that she can work on her desk without feeling any kind of discomfort. She's not just putting a laptop and just working on the bed. That's just really uncomfortable and it's not good for your back. So I want to make sure she's going to be having her own dedicated workstation, as well as a little L-shaped couch so that I could take a nap as well. Most likely, you're going to be sitting a lot, I think. You need some kind of chill space like that instead of the bed, because, yeah, I don't know if people get it, but you need a chill space. Now, one thing that is really not that important for both of us is the kitchen. My wife doesn't like cooking. I don't really like cooking either. So a lot of the times we've been going out to eat and yeah. And the whole plan is I want to travel to different cities and different states and try their restaurants and different foods out there. And I think that would help local businesses when I'm there and I don't want to cook. Pretty sure we're going to have a little setup where I could cook, you know, a couple eggs and toast and whatnot, but I'm not going to have a food truck setup like these other van lifers are doing. It just doesn't make sense for us. And I'm going to have something a little bit special too and have like a little outdoor kitchen in the trunk so that I could set up a whole kitchen outside if I wanted to, but most likely, like I said, we don't really like cooking and we don't like doing dishes, so I think I could really compromise on the kitchen and I'm not going to have a permanent setup like those range tops and things like that. I'm only going to have a sink where I'm going to be able to wash my hands and do the dishes if I have to, but other than that, no fixed permanent stove tops or oven. It's just too much. And it's not going to be propane either. It's going to be electric because I don't want to have pressurized gas inside the van when I could be somewhere in the middle of the desert like at 100. I'm pretty sure it's safe, but I don't want to have that.
It's leaking.
Now, whatever space that I have left over, I am going to integrate that into storage space. And you need a lot of storage. There's so much stuff that I have to pack into the camper van, and I'm just picturing how much stuff that we have, and it's just not gonna fit. So of course I'm going to have to downsize, but at the same time I still need plenty enough storage inside the van where it's designed to keep things in storage, not like one of these bathrooms that fully built and they don't even use it as a bathroom and they just use it as storage, and that's not practical. So as much storage as possible is the plan. Okay, so after knowing all these features and must-haves of my daily lifestyle, I started to get to work and designed a layout that I think is most practical for my needs. Now, this is just a rough design and it's not the final design, but I made sure to give a little bit of room for error so that I could adjust it accordingly. And instead of talking about my design and how everything works, I'm just going to give you the rough features and kind of know the base of it, and you're gonna see exactly how I built it out. So there's no point of me just telling you what I'm going to do when I'm going to show you what I'm showing you. So you get what I'm saying? So instead of talking about the whole van design and SketchUp and how I did it, I just want to give you a little bit of overview of what the design looks like and give you some key features that are going to work out really great for me and my wife. First of all, the fixed fold-out bed. Now, I've seen this design before and I thought it's really great. You could pull out this bed, it'll be a queen-size bed, which is more than enough, and you could fold it back in and it just kind of turns into like a couch mode almost. Now, this way you have this fixed bed situation where you could have storage underneath, and all the electrical components could be stored underneath, all the water components could be stored underneath, and there's gonna be a ton of storage under the bed. Now, secondly, the L-shaped couch and an office space. Like I mentioned before, you need some type of chill space. As soon as you get into the van, you want to sit down and take off your shoes or something, and swivel seats will work great for that, but you also need a little bit of space to just lay down and chill. And that's what the L-shaped couch is going to work as. Now, like I said before, I'm also going to have an office space where my wife could just sit down and either pull out a drawer or fold up this desk and she could start working without setting up a whole crazy system. And what are those called? Lagoon mounts? She's not gonna do any of that.
Loosen it this way. Just kind of wiggle it until it goes off. Look here for now. And then you wiggle this off. Put it on the ground. This table goes between. That's really the hardest part.
It's gonna be a steady space, one person, she can look out the window. It's gonna be great. Now, as for the bathroom, I'm not going to have a full-on enclosure bathroom and literally only going to have like a half bathroom situation where it's going to be like a little wet room. Is that what it is? Now, I've seen plenty of bathroom designs in a camper van and it just takes up too much space. I've seen some vans even just turn the whole back trunk area as a bathroom, and that's literally taking up a quarter of your whole entire van for something that you're only going to do what? The shower's only gonna happen once a day. Bathroom, you know, you only need a place where you have to sit. You don't have to take up the whole entire back section, but I don't know. Maybe they can't fart in front of their wives and husbands at this point, which I think you should see a therapist, not put more enclosures, I guess. Honestly, if you can't in front of your loved ones or your wife, do you even love them? Anyways, now as for the kitchen, like I said before, we're probably not going to be cooking a lot, and we're not going to be operating a food truck anyway. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to have a small little countertop where we're going to have a sink where we can wash our hands and wash the dishes when we do eventually cook. And I'm going to have an electric cooktop so that I could just, cook something real quick, but nothing crazy. It's really gonna be very simple. And as for the other features, there's gonna be storage and storage and storage and storage. And like I said before, this is only the rough plan, and once I start building it out, you're going to see exactly why I'm doing it the way I do it, and I'm going to literally document every single thing, so stay tuned. Now, real quick, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, which is NordVPN. NordVPN is a service that protects your internet connection and privacy online and much more. Now, I've been using NordVPN to hide my IP address so that I could protect myself from these hackers, and it's not gonna be any different when I'm on the road traveling with this camper van. And chances are I'm going to be using a lot of these free public Wi-Fi, and I need to protect myself in some sort of way. And NordVPN does exactly that. NordVPN encrypts your connection to the internet so no one can eavesdrop on the website you visited or data you share. It also hides your IP address and location so these creepers can't track you down. You can enable auto connect so that you'll be automatically protected every single time you're using the internet. Another really great feature about having NordVPN is that you could virtually be anywhere in the world. There are more than 5,000 different servers across 60 different countries around the world that you could choose from. And NordVPN is the fastest VPN out there on the market. So if you want to protect yourself virtually and get an exclusive NordVPN deal, go to nordvpn.com/Woby, and it's completely risk-free, so make sure to check that out. I'll have the link down in the description below. That's nordvpn.com/Woby. Thank you, NordVPN, for sponsoring this video, and make sure to protect yourself today. Okay, so we talked about what my needs are, and we also talked about what my plans are. So that means I could start getting to work. Now, before getting to work, there's some things to do. So one of the things to do was to get familiar with the van and how I could drive that thing around. And like I said before, I have to commute every single day for about 30 minutes each way, going to my friend's store to pick up the van and then going to my shop. This one guy commented, why don't you just park it at my house? I don't live in a house. Why do you think I'm even doing that? If I had a house, then I would have just have a shop in my house. Now, another thing that I had to do before getting started on the van was to weigh the van. And that's the weight before the conversion as well as any kind of demo. That's exactly how I bought the van, and that's exactly how much it weighed. I think the tank was half full. Now, once the conversion is done, I'm going to weigh the van again and see how much weight I added and see if it's going to be stable and if it's going to be safe and if I have to do any kind of adjustments to the leaf springs or suspension. I don't know, but we'll figure that out. Now, last thing to do before I could get started on the van conversion is to demo the car. Now, because I bought a brand new vehicle, there's really not much to do when it comes to demoing this vehicle. It came with the partition, but I had the dealership take it off before I received the van, so it was taken off even before I got the van. Now, there's these panels left over, which are made out of these materials that, these signs are made out of, and I don't know what the purpose is, but it's there and I have to take it off. Now, if I bought a used van, that means I'm going to do rust treatment. I have to take out any dents and get the car running and do all that stuff, and that's gonna take days, weeks, and even months to get it ready. So that's one of the main reasons why I bought a brand new van. So in order to take these panels off, it's pretty easy. Some of these panels were held on by these torque screws and it had little clips. So I just had to unscrew those torque screws and pretty much it came right off. Now I made sure to label each panel so that I know exactly which goes where, and maybe in the future I might need it. I don't know, but still I have it all labeled so that I can easily put it back if I needed to. Now some of these panels were held on by something called panel clips. Now these clips are made out of two different parts and you just have to take out the inner part and the second part kind of comes out. And I used this special prying tool that I got from Amazon and it worked out really great. And this whole process of taking out these panel clips took less than an hour. And by using this prying tool, didn't damage any of the clips and it came right off. So make sure to use a prying tool and I have that link down in the description below. Oh, and it says it took less than 30 minutes, so yeah, it should be about 30 minutes to an hour to take all these panels off. Very easy. Now, last thing to take off is these electrical covers that protect the wires that's already there, so I just took those off, and in the future, I'm going to protect them with these wire covers and make sure that I'm not drilling through those and damaging those, because that's not good. So, we talked about must-have features in the van. We also talked about the plan and how I'm going to design the van. We also talked about how I demoed and prepped for the whole van conversion, as well as getting used to the van and parking the van and commuting with the van and just getting familiar with the van itself. So, pretty much, I'm ready to start on this van conversion. It only took 2 years, huh? So that's the whole general plan for how I'm going to build it out, and I apologize if I'm not really talking in details because you're actually gonna see it and I don't even know what's gonna happen, and this is just a general rough plan of how I'm going to build it out. So once I actually start getting into it and start building it out, that's when we could start talking about each individual details about the build, and I'll have plans available and things like that. Okay, so that's it for this video. I just wanted to kind of give you a rough idea of how this van build is going to go and what kind of design layout that I'm kind of roughly aiming for, as well as what kind of features that I need to have in my camper van. And like I said before, make sure to follow me on Instagram because, like I said, I already have 4 windows installed, AC unit installed, max air fan installed. I'm moving quick, and editing this out is the hardest part. So make sure to check it out. I'll have all the installation videos on my highlights on my IG bio. And if you want to support this channel, make sure to check out my website where I have new t-shirts right now. So make sure to check it out. And if you want to support me further, make sure to check out my Patreon page where I give out skateboard scraps and things like that. So make sure to check things out. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to this channel and turn on that notification bell so that you get notified whenever I have new videos. Now, I've seen every possible van layout design and features and things like that, but if you think that I didn't see it, comment down below what are some of the features that I should have or I should check out. Got it? Thanks again, and until next time. Woo!